You are now plugged into the Social Plug Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? I am Johnny Martinez, and you are plugged into the Social Plug Podcast, where we are connecting you to level up and where we discuss ordinary people doing extraordinary things. We are always powered by Social Plug Media. We got J-Rock behind the cameras there. What's going on, J-Rock?
What's up, guys? Once, right? Is it once? Episode 11 today?
Episode 11.
Once, yeah.
That's a lot of episodes, my man.
That is, man. We're rolling with it, bro.
We've been going for about a month and a half, 2 months. We got 11 episodes going on, and we always got a different backdrop.
That's right.
All right, so
sure.
that's behind you. It looks like you're in front of some lights and a rustic fence, man.
I love it, man. I'm all over the place.
You're looking beautiful back there.
I've been traveling every week, right? Every episode.
You are. You're traveling in time. You're traveling in space. Aliens going on, all kinds of shit going on, man.
Coming in, coming out, I swear.
So today's podcast sponsor are our friends from Dat DJ. This dynamic duo of MC Jesse E and DJ Jerry strive to make your private or corporate events one to always remember. They offer MC and DJ services, equipment rentals, and a lot more. They bring lots of energy and are highly touted for their famous J&J show, which takes you through a musical journey through various decades of music. MC Hammer, Queen Latifah, who knows, might have some other stuff going on. These guys bring the energy, man. You can find them all around the San Antonio and New Braunfels area, and you can find them on social media and also at datdj.com, datdj.com. Today's going to be a fun show. We got a lot of things to cover, and we got this man right here, Nick Marquez. Look at this guy. What's going on, Nick?
How are you doing?
Man, we just heard that you have never really been on an official podcast.
No, never.
Oh, popping the cherry today.
So we're popping your cherry.
I'm ready to expose truths.
Hopefully not too many truths.
Probably so.
We need some alcohol in you, sir.
Yeah, maybe if we had tequila, but it's okay.
Yeah, I offered you some whiskey. Are you a whiskey guy or a beer guy?
30 minutes in, we might be anything.
Anything.
Yes.
Or do you drink Jägermeister?
No, I actually stopped drinking anything dark. I only drink tequila.
Only tequila.
Only tequila, and I'm adamant about it.
Does tequila make your clothes come off?
It's caused some problems.
It's caused some
problems. Not gonna lie, but it's actually also helped. You know, tequila. I mean, I don't get. I don't have a drinking problem, but
there's a song about that too.
Yeah, I'm a bar owner, but obviously, I'm able to get up the next day. I'll just say that.
Hell yeah,
and still function and do all the things I have to do.
Nick, I can never be a bar owner, bro. And the reason why. Maybe I will. We'll see, but I think I drink my own supply.
Yeah.
So I'd be a sorry drug dealer too, probably.
Well, before we get into the alcohol talk, I want to introduce you formally.
Yes.
So Nick Marquez is not just a dude that just happened to stumble by and say, "Oh, there's a podcast going on." No, we actually sought you out and said we got to get this guy on the show.
No, thank you.
So Nick, you're an entrepreneur. You own several businesses, including Old Main Ice House in the beautiful Cibolo, Texas area. We love Old Main Ice House. We get a lot of live music there.
Yes, thank you.
I've had a lot of drinks there, a lot of whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe some tequila, who knows. Mm-hmm. You own the Bar House also in Cibolo. Shirts.
Yes.
And Hidden Grove.
In shirts, yes.
In shirts. So Old Main Ice House in Cibolo, we'll talk about that. Bar House in Hidden Grove in shirts. And you also own Bar House San Antonio.
Yes.
Which is going to be a awesome project, and it's opening up at the end of the year.
Correct.
We can't wait for that, man.
Definitely, and hopefully we'll talk about that a lot. But that's my biggest project to date, and I'm very, very excited about it. I bought a building in downtown San Antonio on North Alamo Street, and it's actually a historical San Antonio landmark, which I discovered after I purchased that.
Is it haunted?
Well. I actually want to go into that one.
He's like, it's haunting me. It's haunting me every night.
It is haunting me, yes.
But it's
paranoia at its highest. But it was built in 1910, and it actually used to be a boarding house for single men.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was called La Casa. So it's been there for a long time, 110 years. The street used to be called Avenue B, and it morphed into North Alamo. But yeah, it's right next to Bentley's and Lucky Duck, Social Spots, Burleson.
I know where all that is.
Yeah, Brooklyn Bar. I mean, and right next to Broadway. So it's a new, in my opinion, a hot spot. Thanks to obviously other bar owners as well, but also just it's for tourists, locals, everything. And I think it's a great spot. It's way different than the Strip. It's way different than the Riverwalk. it's just pure San Antonio, in my opinion. And I'm very excited, and I love restoring old buildings. And it's going to be huge. You know, the house itself is 4,000 square feet. I'm adding a 3-story steel patio in the back with 2,200 square feet of level. So the total amount is 10,600 square feet.
So is it kind of like a sky bar type?
It's gonna the third level has views of the Tower Americas. It has views of the Frost Building. I mean, you can see the entire skyline from the third level. But it's really it is a small lot, but I'm just utilizing the lot to its largest degree. And it's been an interesting venture getting it through some of the city offices, but it's been pretty easy actually.
No shit. Okay, good.
I will put it on record. Much easier than the suburbs.
Oh yeah, man.
So I'm just not gonna lie.
Around these parts, it's hard getting anything passed.
Yeah. So I've been very fortunate that the San Antonio has welcomed me in there as the process, and I'm just excited to get started. But I'm also, as I've done in Schertz and Cibolo, I want to do more around that area. I want to, purchase more properties and help renovate and improve downtown San Antonio wherever I can, on top of all the other people doing it. Because there's a massive like rush down there. I think a gold rush for bar owners, for restaurants, you name it. Especially with the Spurs coming back, with the Wemby hype. So yeah, I'm very excited that we're going to hopefully be open right as the Spurs season kind of picks up.
Let's talk about Wemby real quick before we continue on about your ventures. Wembanyama.
Yes.
What do you think about that? So he had his first summer league game, and then he had his second.
He had his second last night.
Right. So is a hype real or what's?
Well,
is it premature?
I think Britney Spears ruined his first game. So
she slapped herself. Yeah. It was obvious, right? I mean, I don't know.
I think that was maybe like.
Did she pull a wrestling move on us?
I think the Lakers, LeBron, they hired Britney to mentally do that. They didn't want him to have anything, but that was crazy. But yeah, I think the hype is real. I mean, he's only 19, 7'5", and he moves around like a 6'2" guy. And I don't follow sports a lot, but I've always followed LeBron since he came into the league and destroyed the league. And I honestly, as a Spurs fan for the longest time, being in San Antonio, I cannot believe we got the number 1 draft pick again. I can't believe we got got Wemby. It's really chaotic.
Do you think it's rigged?
I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah, why don't they,
I hope so.
Why don't they? Did you say I hope so?
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all.
I know,
because it's bringing us money, right?
Well, yeah, it is. It brings San Antonio number. I mean, yes, as a
true.
business owner, it's going to help, but it's also just the culture, and the comeback, and it makes the city, in my opinion, I know it's kind of crazy, it just makes it safer. There's just the trust and love of the Spurs. I mean, this you can't match. You can't match. I don't see. I mean, I've followed around. The only thing I've seen better or as good as like the Denver Nuggets lately, where the fans are just crazy.
Right.
But San Antonio has that hype, and they were even sticking through it. The bad seasons, but with Duncan and Robinson and Ginobili and all that. I mean, it's just crazy.
Isn't it crazy how these old players you just mentioned? When I say old players, previous players, because they're not that old. Shit, I'm about to be 50, and I don't think I'm that old. But they're still here as mentors for this young guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome.
You don't really find that.
I don't see it anywhere. I mean, I've seen it in a few places like L.A. You have the old players always.
Kareem,
yeah,
Magic.
Exactly. And then the Heat is the only other thing I've seen with Alonzo and other things. But yeah, I think it's fantastic. The culture is crazy. It has a unified front in San Antonio, and it just makes it unique. And San Antonio is so unique. And now it's being featured more as a real city. I think for the longest time it's kind of was on the back burner.
Like a small town.
Yeah, and it's, you just hear about Dallas and Houston, and that's it. Or the big artists come, Dallas and Houston, not San Antonio, and I think San Antonio is coming now. But it keeps growing and growing, and we'll go up the list. And, even with, we'll get into this, but the TV show that we're filming right now for myself and my bars and my staff, even the media company with it is saying, there is really San Antonio is never featured like that anywhere. No one's filming a TV show in San Antonio, and there should be, because there's amazing backdrops, there's amazing different areas of the city, and I think it's going to be awesome, and I think it increases our chances of getting it,
getting this revenue,
and getting
revenue coming in.
Yeah,
because you're right. A lot of people think, even though this is the 7th largest city in America population-wise, it still doesn't get the credit.
No, it doesn't.
You always think about Dallas. You even think about Austin before you think about San Antonio.
Correct. Always Austin, and there's no reason. I love Austin, but it's also chaotic. And San Antonio, I think, it has more space and planned out a little bit better for downtown to thrive and be just as good at downtown Austin, if not better. And I think it really is on the way, and it will definitely pass it up. You know, I don't have the alcohol sales memorized, but San Antonio is definitely up there.
Who has better breakfast tacos, San Antonio or Austin?
San Antonio.
Have you had a breakfast taco
Oh,
in
of
Austin?
course. Oh, yeah, everywhere. I don't remember where, but I've tried all kinds of different places lately. And, you know, that's why I'm so excited about having a building downtown, because I'm downtown all the time now. And I used to go, you know, once a month or once every few months, you know, with a friend or my ex or whatever. And now I'm there, you know, weekly.
Yeah.
So every time I'm down there at the building with no AC and crying, you know, I just like, let's go try something new, you know. But and that's what really helped me really understand the downtown even better. I've always been aware of it, you know, I know about it, but really getting into all the side streets, all the small businesses to the large businesses, the different bars, the dive bars. You know, I love architecture. I'm in real estate as well, as you know, and, you know, I love real estate.
You're also a realtor.
I am,
I
yes.
didn't mention that, but you
Yes.
are a successful realtor.
Yeah, so, yeah, I love it. The San Antonio hype is real, and I'm very happy to be, honestly, right there on the grounds in a very fun time. And my goal for the downtown bar is not just to open and be, you know, successful, obviously, and fun for the community. I want it to be the #1 bar in San Antonio.
Hell yeah.
Alcohol
Nice.
sales
Hell yeah.
wise, everything. I mean, it's I am going all in. You know, I mean, 10,600 square feet is a shit ton. It is costly, but it's worth the risk.
It's a great investment.
Yes,
San
Yes.
Antonio is growing, man, and with the Wemby Mania and Hulkamania, whatever you got going on, it's, oh yeah, brother, it's going to be great for you. So you're a
Yes.
successful business owner. I've seen you grow. We met several years ago at one of these networking mixers,
Right.
And they introduced me to you as the owner of Old Main Ice House. So I frequent Old Main Ice House regularly.
No, thank you.
It's one of my spots.
Yeah, for sure.
I like going there and just chilling out, having some drinks, listening to live music. How long have you owned Old Main? And was that your first big purchase?
Yeah, it was. I owned it since 2015. It was my first purchase, owning any other properties. And yeah, I went in there and redid it. It was really almost essentially an abandoned building, you know, zero type value. It was an old, well, it was a chop shop of some kind. And then it was the whole property was Old Main on the right, and then there was a big mill on the left. And those two properties together were a big lumber yard back in the day. And all that lumber was actually used to build Randolph Air Force Base back in the day. And it was an amazing property. It was owned by a great woman. Thanks to her, I was able to purchase it. But I put all the money in to renovate it. So we had a lease to own type deal. Because when I came across the property, it was zero value, right? I mean, like I said, there's nothing. And I said, well, I'm going to take this money that I have, which I barely had any
You were
money.
pretty much just buying the land.
Yeah. And we were just setting a deal. Like, I can't buy it right now because, you know, I was 27. You know.
Was it pretty cheap?
Oh,
Way cheaper than it is now.
yeah.
Great investment.
Yeah. I you know, whatever. I'll just tell everyone. I bought it for $110,000.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Dang.
$110,000. However, that was based off, you know, no really renovations yet or anything. And downtown Cibolo was really, I don't want to say it was nothing, but it was nothing there.
Nick, I think I've spent $110,000 drinking there.
Yeah. So have I. No, so have I. So yeah, no, but so I bought it for 110 and now it's, you know, it's worth a lot, but it's okay. And you know, I own a few other properties down there in downtown Cibolo, the Cibolo Automotive Building. I spent my money on a parking lot, which is not exciting, but it was necessary. So, but I think the biggest thing I did was, you know, all the people that were coming to support me in the beginning and made it what it was, which is all the locals in Cibolo and customers. You know, I put every single dollar back into Old Main. I lived in a crappy apartment. I didn't have a real bed. I mean, I didn't have anything for a long time. I acted like just normal. You know, I acted like I was before that. And so when I got started, I literally had no money. That's why I couldn't purchase the building. I had no credit. I had no people behind me. I had no bank help. Nothing. I mean, it was just me wanting to strive to get that bar open.
How did you do that every day, bro? How did you keep that fucking
'cause you were struggling.
That struggle, just going through the struggle, bro?
Oh man, that's a lot. But I would love to talk about it. You know, nothing to lose mentality for one.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I was going into that. So I graduated college with 2 degrees, and it took me a year to find a job, which was horrible. I had to move back in with my grandparents. Thank goodness for them. And I just knew in my head maybe when I was about 22, 23, everyone doesn't know what they want to do, right? And you always go through that shock year from high school, whether you're living with your parents and then you move out or whatever, you get to that shock year. So I feel like that shock year for me was like 3 or 4 years because I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and I felt like a loser. I mean, I really did. I had all kinds of friends, and then I kind of lost my friends and kind of just, went by myself. But I just knew in my body around 22 or 23, like, hey, I have this ability. I do have this talent. I have this confidence. I just need to apply it. And I know I need to do things, but it's so hard for so many people, especially maybe ones listening, that have this ability, but they just can't get rolling. You need money to get rolling. I'm sorry to say that. If you want to be in the business, you got to find a way to get money. So I was sitting there, how am I going to make money to get into this bar scene or my real estate that I wanted to do? And I didn't have any help from anyone else. I didn't have old family members or friends that can say, here's $100,000 or here's $50,000. It's crazy. Because what did I have to show for it? Nothing. But anyway, so yeah, I just got motivated and I quit so I finally got a job in city government, actually. Which I wanted to do. I was very miserable, very miserable. I'm not a 9-to-5 person, obviously. And, I met a lady who was in real estate down the street. And she just gave me so much confidence, and that's the hugest thing, getting it from someone else. I knew it was in my body, but you don't hear it from anyone else. It is a huge thing. So she came and gave me confidence in my office. Oh, you need to be in real estate. You're so good at what you do. You're so nice. You're going out of your way to help people and whatever, right? And it just kind of stuck with me. And I go back to work and I'd be miserable. And, I worked with great people, but I just wasn't happy. So, yeah, I quit on the spot, actually. No 2 weeks notice. Don't ever do that. It wasn't very nice. I felt bad, but it was necessary. And I went home and got my real estate license in probably 3 weeks. I mean, I just did it nonstop. Morning, afternoon, night, doing all the ridiculous classes you need to do. And went and failed the test once, because I just said, everyone stresses about the test. And I was like, let's just go see what it's about. And that's how I learned better. I took the test. I only failed by like 3 points, but still, I knew exactly what the test was all about. So I went back and studied properly for 2 weeks. You can't prepare yourself unless you just go take a test.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now, honestly. I'm actually right there in the middle. I'm about to take the test. I just got done with all the classes.
Okay, good.
So,
awesome.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm glad I'm hearing this from you.
I don't think it's ideal. I don't think the Real Estate Commission wants me to say go take the test and fail. Yeah, but I did, and then I passed it with pretty decent colors, and it was good. And I got into real estate, and man, I just hustled. Nice. I wanted the success. I just had so many goals I wanted to do, and I needed the money. And the first year, I hustled, and I made $90,000 in real estate. Nice. Commissions, and I was 28, 29, and
did you always have? So you're young, obviously. At 27, like you said, you're getting your business there at 27, your first one. Was there something young that motivated you to do that? Was there somebody in your family, or did you just felt like you had that strive and that drive?
Yeah, I not really anyone. I was raised by my grandparents. My grandfather was very successful and a hard worker, but also very old school and by the book. All he ever told me was do work. Do work. I go in and talk to him about an idea. He's like, do the work. I go do this, do the work.
But he never gave you specifics.
No, never. Really? Never. All he said was do work. It's so annoying. But, I think
when is it done? When's the job done?
Pissed me off. Okay. He pissed me off all the time, but
he was like Mr. Miyagi?
Yeah, it worked, though. It was some secret mind games. It just really messed me up. But yeah, but every time I would struggle in some spot, I'm like, okay, I just got to do the work. That's all it is. That really is. I mean, he was right the whole time. It's frustrating.
Dude, and that's life. A lot of people think they're just going to wake up one day and be a bar owner. Yeah. Be an entrepreneur or a realtor. And I come across a lot of realtors that just say, hey, I'm going to go get my license.
Oh, I see.
But they have no idea how to market themselves, how to build relationships, and how to work.
Yep.
They don't understand the work that comes into it. You got to have a personal brand.
Absolutely.
And you have to have a drive to kick everybody's ass.
Yep.
If you don't have that drive, if you're not a shark or a lion, it's going to be tough for you.
Yep.
Because you got 15,000 agents that are trying to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
And only about maybe 1,000 or 2 are making the deals. So what's going to make you
different than the other? Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And I'm running into that a lot now. I have a lot of my staff and bartenders that want to get into real estate, or, oh, I see you do real estate. I want to get into real estate. And, half of them are good, half of them others, I actually mentored a kid in high school. I forgot what it's called DECA. I forgot what it stands for. I'm sorry, DECA people. But It's the kids in high school they do business and they go to international competition. So I mentored 3 of them, and they actually went to internationals because they were doing restaurants and bars. So
Nice.
that was a lot of fun. But I told we all talked, and they at the time they did see all the buildings I owned and all the things. Like, man, how do we do this? How do we want to do this? And so get your real estate license now.
Yeah.
At 18. If someone had told me that, holy crap.
And find a mentor or
Yes,
coach.
and find a mentor. And then, so he was using me kind of as a mentor at the time. And I told him, get your license. And I told him all 3. And one of them got his license in 18. And now he's 21. He comes into my bars. He's in school, and he's just killing it.
That's
and he's
awesome.
only 21.
That's awesome.
And he has, I don't think he even knows where his potential lies.
He's starting well ahead.
Well ahead. If
of
I
the
started at
average Joe.
21, and you take it back to the, if I was 20, if I started 8 years older, the market and the pricing is so lower, and the investment potential and to now, and seeing the values and how they skyrocketed around San Antonio and Austin during COVID. Oh my gosh. So yeah, anyone wanting to really be in real estate, just start young, because it will do slow, but you can do other things. That's a beautiful thing about real estate. You can do other things.
Right.
You can stay in school, and he's paying through his college because of his real estate license. Hell, I just got an $8,000 commission.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
And his parents are ecstatic. So that kid is killing it.
And where else can you get an $8,000 check just like that?
No, especially at that age, none.
But it
None.
does
You can't.
take work.
It does, and he did work at it big time. And there's other bartenders are doing it, and they just want to magically show up. Well, I'm going to get my real estate license, and I'm going to get big checks. It's not going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to happen, and you have to go hustle. You have to go to all the rentals. You have to do everything. Spend your money on marketing. Spend on flyers. Go door to door.
Make videos.
Yes, anything, and especially now videos, TikTok.
Get on podcasts.
Right, exactly. Just do everything and get your brand out there. And anyone listening, if you want your real estate house sold, you use me, not Johnny. So, no, I'm just kidding.
Johnny,
I'm
I'm
just
jumping
kidding.
teams, Johnny.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
But it's funny though. Now I have my license, and I always usually use my license for my own deals. But I'm actually hiring other realtors now because I just don't have the time.
Right.
Wow,
And
that's
it's kind of awesome. I enjoy it, and they get to make money, and man, it's so much easier for me. It's so much easier for me.
As you were speaking there, you talked about all these other business owners and other bars and things like that, other realtors. It hit me. You're a community over competition guy.
Yes.
There's enough food at the table for everyone to eat.
Yes, definitely.
I just like having a big piece of chicken.
Right.
But everybody's going to eat something.
Yes, and I will say I am community over competition, but again, on the other side of thing, I am extremely competitive. It is a problem, and it really is a problem.
Is that a strength
or
or a weakness?
Both, but for me right now, I would say 80% strength. Yeah, I mean, it's just you have to have that mindset. And I didn't when I was a kid. I wasn't in high school. I didn't have it in college either. That confidence, and it's whatever through your different relationship building or friends through school. It just depends on who you're surrounding yourself with to do. But I just didn't have that confidence. Like I said, that lady that came to my office and gave me that confidence started this weird confidence in me that I didn't really see. And I had one teacher all through school. And I played drums through school on drumline. I got scholarships, competition drumlines. Had a lot of friends, but I was always second. Like, to be section leader or second in line of this or second in this and second in that. Shit just pissed me off.
Did it motivate you?
Oh, absolutely, all the time. And then there's other times where I was up for a leadership position. And it is high school and things like that. It's minor. But I wanted to do that. People did listen to me. I knew kind of what I was doing. I was experienced, and no one really gave me that opportunity. And yeah, it was motivation, for sure.
Both. This kind of goes for both of you too, Johnny. It goes for you too. Like when you're younger and you go through that, do you feel like the guys that were around you, whether it was classmates or your friends, when they would get that second place or whatever, did you take that differently? Like, and then like, does that change the way you are today?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I always took it differently, and a lot of my friends didn't really care, and I would see the people that are leading that didn't really care. Not all of them. There was a lot of great ones to help me, but yeah, I don't know. I just cared a lot, and that's I have so much motivation, and one of my favorite quotes is so simple. I don't even know where it's from anymore, and so stupid, but it's just I'm a teacher and a leader. You just have to let me be, and no one ever let me be ever, and no one gave me that opportunity to do it. And I actually there was a thing on my Facebook. I might have to bring it up. It's something I posted 10 years ago as of yesterday. I was pissed off, and I was writing something how I was trying so hard to accomplish something, and I was always getting derailed by the powers to be by some reason. All kinds of things. I think I was even trying to buy a house, and I kept getting denied, and all these things, and you name it. And then at the end of the Facebook post, I wrote to myself, which at the time, no one was reading my Facebook posts or my tweets, no one. And that would make me angry too. But yeah, at the end of it, I said, there's only one thing I have left to do to fix this, is become the power instead on my own. Nice. Not work for anybody else, not do this. Like I stopped getting stopped from doing what I wanted to do, and have all my ideas and my vision and whatever. And yeah, so I just got motivated as hell after that. I mean, I was just unstoppable in my opinion, and I'm not trying to sound cocky or arrogant by any means, because I feel like I'm very down to earth, because I want other people to feel this. I'm not doing this just for me to say, oh, I'm better than you. No, I've never thought anyone I'm better than you. I hate that. I want to motivate others, and people that are sitting home listening, or people that I meet at the bars, you name it. I've met so much people, and I love telling, man, you have potential out the wazoo, man. And it's disturbing because they're not doing anything.
Right.
And they're complaining, oh, I don't have any money, I don't do this, I have a crappy job. And yes, it is difficult now in certain degrees, but it's also your mentality. That mentality will turn around. And I just believe, in my opinion, and I always have, and I talk about this on my tweet, if you go back, my Twitter, and I read my old tweets sometimes, which is crazy because I'm just talking to myself. But you have an inner power in you, and you just have to find it and unlock it. And there's abilities in your body that are just, it's kind of crazy. You don't even know what it is. It's there. And I don't know. I wish I could remember exactly when I really realized it, but it was related to drumming, surprisingly. Right. Because I would drum with so many guys, and I was starting to get around some of the best drummers in the world, and they were way better than I was. But then I'd with so many people, and I'd see him, oh, I can't do that. Why is that guy so fast? Why is this guy doing this? Why does he look so good? Why is this? And I'm like, dude, he's a human being. He's not an alien. Yeah. Wimby's maybe an alien, but like other than that, everything else is. We have that ability. I have 10 fingers. I know some people that don't too, but they have even more motivation, ability, and they can do crazy things. But I'm just saying, interlocking or unlocking your inner power. I was like, well, I can do that. If this guy can do it, I can do it. Right. And I want to do it better. And that just kind of motivated me. And drumming was fun for me, but I just wasn't into it as far as a career. I just wanted something bigger and wanted to work for myself. And like I said, I love motivating other people. I love talking to people at the bars. That's why I kind of got into it too. It's not just financially. I love the social aspect of the bars. But I also wanted different type of bars, and not just dive bars or, go in a room, it's black paint. Be sad and depressed all night and drink.
The same stuff.
I can't stand it. And, no offense to anyone anywhere, but I can't stand strip center bars. I just won't do it ever. And there's some great ones too, especially around here in New Braunfels, but I just can't. It's not a vibe for me. The bar needs to be an escape from your reality. And, alcohol is not, it can be abused, obviously, and we don't want that, but it's also a very helpful thing for a lot of people, and you can just escape your reality, and you meet so many people. Without the bars, I would not be here today doing what I'm doing.
Does alcohol bring people together or tear people apart?
Unfortunately, both. But in the bar setting, in my opinion, it brings people together because it's controlled. The right bar owners do.
Did you say boners?
I think I did. We were talking before we started, actually, for anyone watching. So I think, right across I can see his if we're doing it. So anyway, but the right bar owners will make it safe and controlled. It's a high risk environment, but cutting people off, it's a hard business. I'm not going to lie. It's dangerous, but there's ways, and it's controlled. It's controlled by the TABC. It's controlled by all kinds of things. It's really not hard to follow all the rules. Yeah,
it's not. But when you got alcohol, people lose their minds.
Yes, exactly. And we have to ban some people and things like that. But it's definitely a difficult subject, but it definitely brings people together for the most part on what I do in my business, for sure.
So I got two things out of that, if that's okay, Johnny.
Oh, go ahead.
Johnny gets a little upset with me because I get drunk sometimes, and I go on Facebook and I post his shit sometimes.
Hey, we
I
keep
just-
it real on this show.
Yeah.
I actually did that last night, and I deleted it. Thank God
See,
before I went to sleep.
and I do this. I do the same thing. And there's some that I wake up in the morning and I regret, and I do delete them. And then there's some that I get, and I'm gonna save this one. I'm gonna put this one
Put it to
somewhere
bed,
on my
yeah.
phone, so that way, like you said, you're the one you saw 10 years ago. You know.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people should do that, but do it the most responsible way. But I think that's what's helped me too, is to, where was my, people journal. That's probably the smartest way to do it.
Right.
The only way I'm doing it. But I really feel like that helps a lot, because it brings you back to like the way you were thinking, or, when you're having those great days, and your Facebook reminds you of like, oh, this is what you were thinking at that day.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, okay, those are the days that help build who I am today. So that's what I like about hearing that from you, for as successful as you are, knowing that I can kind of take that a little bit, but instead of I delete the shit out of most of them.
Trust me, I've deleted a lot. But I'm also, like I said, going back to the competition, I'm an extremely competitive person.
Yeah.
And, success is obviously I'm wanting it for myself. I want it to take care of my family, my friends, and also motivate others. But, there's 10% of everyone's success that you got to dunk it in someone's face.
Mm-hmm.
And someone recently told me that, and I kind of loved it, because I was always against that. But that just at 10%, you have to keep it 10% somehow. You need to dunk it in some people's face that did say some weird things to you back in the day, or gave you no hope, or and I'm not doing it in a malicious way, but it's just like, hey, remember when you said this, and well, I'm here now, and thank you for that 10% motivation. So and we're my type of business, and what I've been doing for last 10 years, it's a lot of sacrifices that I've had to have to personally. It sucks. It sucks, but you have to look
Ups
at the
and downs, man.
Yeah, you have to look at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is just striving for, everyone says that, striving for greatness, but it really is. I mean, I'm just striving to be successful, and again, help others, and I'm getting more into that because, like I said, I see people struggle all the time, and I've struggled recently with some personal things, and you just have to keep rolling, and that's what I want to do. I just want to motivate others with the TV show. I know we're jumping around a little bit, but
No, you're good.
the TV show is going to be not just about me and the bars and my staff, but also my struggles, the staff struggles. Like, I have a lot of staff that is amazing, and they were just shut down by so many people. And I gave them a chance. They had some loose ends, to say it nicely. They were some loose cannons, but they are so talented. You just have to understand people better, and understand that everyone is going through something. No one's going to be exactly like you. No one's going to like everything you're going to like. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Was it like Santa Claus in the land of misfit toys?
Pretty
you were
much.
Santa Claus, and you got all these misfit toys together, and you
Yeah.
guys are killing it now.
Absolutely. They're the most talented bartenders on the planet, and I will fight that everywhere. And if there was a competition, which I'm sure there are, I will take them there. And I think the TV show is going to work so well because I have such unique people. And they're so strong, and they've been through a lot. Multiple people I've given second or third chances to, and I know that's difficult, but you have to. And the people that don't give second chances or third chances, I just don't think they're going to be successful. I really don't. I know that's kind of hardcore, but there is so much potential in people that have been through crazy shit. And you just have to, like I said, going back to unlock their inner power. Everyone has it.
It makes them better. Challenges makes
It
people.
does.
Some people curl up into the fetal position, and they
quit.
They just quit, and so you said a mouthful, man. You said a lot of good nuggets, a lot of good information. What I took out of that, man, the 10% rule that I love when people shun me.
Yes.
I love when they say, "Oh, that Johnny, he ain't this, he ain't that." I give him a big fuck you with my actions.
Yeah, absolutely. Not
It's-
words.
I don't
Not
need.
words.
I don't need to talk.
Yep.
I show. And a lot of
Absolutely.
people say, "Oh, I see him everywhere. He's this and that, and he's there's a reason. It's called marketing and branding, and I want to make sure that I reach enough people to show the value that I can provide to help them. Because you said you're about helping people too.
Yes.
So am I.
Yes.
We got a free platform called social media, and I think you and I have not only discovered it, but we've conquered it.
Yes.
Where our voice and our value and our bars and our businesses can get out there.
Yes.
I like surrounding myself with like-minded people. I can't stand hanging out with people who are negative. when I was younger, that's what I did. I hung out with negative people, woe is me, victims. But today, as a 46-year-old man, I don't do that shit.
Right.
I make sure that I surround myself with people who are going to help me get to the next level and talk about things that are going to be successful in our minds, building bars, building connections, building all these networks. And yeah, man, life is too damn short to be hanging out with negative people who don't have a vision. And I set a lot of high expectations and standards on the people that I surround myself with. If you have this potential and you ain't fulfilling that potential, you're killing me.
Yep.
And you're draining me, and you're draining everybody around you.
Yep. Absolutely. And that was hard for me too for the longest time.
Yeah.
You know, the negative people around me, or not having confidence, or you're going to do this, you're going to do what? You're not going to do this. I have so many conversations with people at the bar. When I was drinking at a bar, I'm going to open a bar. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Right.
You're not going to do this.
You're
And
like,
all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And, you know, and I get a lot of people that say, I wanted to open a bar, but they said, I wanted to open a bar, not I want
I
to
almost opened a bar.
Yeah. Or I used to, I owned that building when they didn't. I was going to, oh, this is my favorite one. I was going to buy that building.
Yeah. But what happened?
Yeah. Well, how come you didn't?
Right.
Well, I don't know. You never tried. They're trying to prove themselves to me, or even prove that they're better than me for some reason sometimes, which is not, that's not what I'm looking for.
It's toxic, and it shows who they really are.
Right.
That's not the kind of person I want to do business with,
Absolutely.
or even not even business, even hang out with.
Right. And I always use those situations. I have a conversation. Well, what do you own now, or what have you done, or what do you want to do? And he just, you know, they just stand there for a minute. And some of them are like, well, I want to do this. And I tell them, okay, I'm not trying to say, oh, I did this, you didn't. No, I'm saying, well, how come you haven't? Let's talk about that. You should do it. You want to know how I started, or where are you at right now? And some of them will actually turn into a really motivational conversation and say, well, I never really thought about that. I'm like, well, go do it. You know, people all the time, I want to buy a house. And, well, I can't buy one right now. And so they quit. Well, no, I tell people all the time, it's okay. Wait a year or two. But you have to start the process. You have to go talk to someone, figure out your bank, figure out your situation, figure out your credit, save your money. You know, people are spending their money in all the wrong places.
There's so many opportunities out there to be successful.
Exactly. Even just, you know, $400 into your savings account each month, $200, $100. You know, it may, whatever you can do, just put it in there. And there's such a mentality now with these younger kids where they just spend all their money right away, and then they keep complaining why they haven't gone anywhere.
Right.
Well, because you spend your money on dumb shit. You know, I mean, seriously, it's all the time. They just don't save money, and you keep saving money. So. I don't know. We could talk about all this stuff all day. I'm jumping around. So
this is great.
Yeah,
this is great information.
That's really good.
Yeah, to go on the negativity thing, like I can't stand the negativity. I mean, I deal with my bartenders a lot, some people in the bars, but it's just whatever they're talking about was turned into a positive, and it's so simple. But the most, and I've watched a few. I've never really into watching motivational videos, honestly, or hype videos or anything. I just want to talk to people in person. I don't want to watch. It's so easy to get on TV or what, you know, hey, well, go do it, you know, but you really got to talk to someone in person about it and have that experience. And so I've never really been into that, but I just love turning their negatives into positives, or their complaints or their situation. Well, how did we get here? How do we do this? I love turning into. And then a lot of people say, well, that's easier said than done. You have all this money now. No, that's not how that works. I've earned it here,
right?
But I'm willing to help. But I've worked very hard. I'm sorry that I'm successful, you know. But I've gone through even worse things that they have.
Why do people have a negative aspect of successful people?
That's a great question.
Because they're not successful themselves.
Yeah,
they don't find anything that's like just a little bit successful.
I think I think it's just negativity and the people they're surrounding themselves with. They're not used to surrounding themselves with people. I have lost recently some very, very close friends and a very close ex because I'm too successful, I guess. You know, I'm very busy. I'm into all kinds of different things, and my time is valuable, and I adjusted my time for all kinds of different things, but you know.
Do you find yourself being selfish in your own way? Now, when I mean that is like to other people like us that are entrepreneurs, we don't find it selfish, but people find it selfish. Like, do you find yourself doing that?
I used to be way more selfish for sure. Like when I first started, I was in the zone, wanting to build more bars. I wanted to buy more properties, but again, I was not doing it just to own stuff. I was doing it to be comfortable, to help my family, to help my friends, to help me not to have that question of getting up every day and what we're going to do and why, after college, I had no money, man. Zero. Nothing. And it was difficult every single day. And, and everyone wanted to go out or do something, but couldn't hang out with friends because I had no money. I mean, I didn't even know why or how my friends were going out all the time, and it was just, so yeah, I never wanted to be at that point ever again. Ever. And it was difficult. And there's a lot of people out there that are in that struggle right now too. And I just, it can be turned around. It is more difficult now with the way the world is and what's going on, but it really can be turned around. I think it's just, and there's so many things out there convincing people to spend money. It's not just their fault. It's just, social media has its great things and its bad things. And, it's...
And Amazon.com.
Yes. Oh, my God. I had to stop myself, too. But, yeah, it's so easy. It's just so easy to buy dumb shit.
Yep.
I mean, you don't even need to go home and go to a website. It's right there on your phone right away. You don't even need to even type in your information half the time.
You know what's crazy? And you're on social media and you're talking about whiskey or...
Yeah, and it pops up.
It pops up.
It does.
That's the
They're
worst.
listening to us.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
All the time. I even will test that one time. I was like, something I don't like. Like, I don't like crawfish. So I said crawfish into my phone all day. And then guess what the next day? Crawfish.
If you do like crawfish, you need to try Lazy J Cajun here in New Braunfels.
Hey,
yes. I will tell all my friends that love crawfish to go there. Definitely.
So you're saying you're going 100 miles an hour as all of us are. Life is so hectic and so busy today than when I was younger. How do you wind down, man?
Oh, I don't.
Because you got to give yourself some kind of
mental, you're right. I had
I
had definitely, if you want to get deep, I definitely had a breakdown recently, back in May, for the first time, and it was because I wasn't winding down, and I couldn't slow down, and I don't know why, but to get into the mental health aspect, and that's what the TV show is going to be about more. Two is that not a lot of people talk about mental health, especially men's mental health. So we're going to talk about that a lot. But anyway, I couldn't wind down. And yes, I use drinking sometimes as a crush to try to wind down, but it wouldn't wind me down because I would get still motivated. When we have this...
Too much adrenaline.
Yeah, it is. And I loved adrenaline, and I was more of a fearful adrenaline person. So I didn't want to jump out of a plane. I didn't want to fly. I didn't want to do all kinds of things because they were high risk. And I was such a protective person. I was almost too cautious, which I wish I wasn't now, but I was too cautious, but I loved adrenaline because when there were certain things that would get my adrenaline going, I'm like, man, this is crazy. Yeah. So I had to find other things to get it. And, unfortunately, alcohol will raise your adrenaline, especially shots of tequila all the time, which I would love to do. But yeah, then I would go home and trying to wind down, but then I'd be remotivated. I'm like, man, I have so much energy right now. I got to go work and do all these things. And my mind is racing, and I also multitask like crazy, 4 bars, 30 staff, plus, my real estate and now this media stuff that we're doing and a TV show. It's so much, which I really love because I get bored very, very quickly. But
it's eustress, meaning it's good stress.
Yeah, it is good stress, but it also turned into bad stress. It does affect other relationships, but the bottom line is I couldn't wind down at all, and I wasn't going to be able to sleep, which was crazy.
That's what I was going to ask. How much sleep do you get a night?
I was usually, from starting the bars from 2015 to 2018 when I opened Bar House, I was averaging 5 hours of sleep, which you don't really notice because you're just busy. You notice in the morning for 10 minutes, and you kind of punch yourself in the face and just get up and go. At least I did. And then... usually 6 hours of sleep. And then, recently I was able to have, I have great managers and things like that where I can kind of wind down a little bit. But
are you a micromanager? Do you constantly got to be checking in, or do you
not really
you leave them? You trust the staff?
Now I do. Back in 2015 to 2017, it was just new and fresh. And I was also very young. I was 28, 29. Some people worked for me that were older, younger, and they would look at me as a young person and, oh, you don't know what you're doing. Okay, why'd you come work for me then? It's crazy. But so I would check on it all the time, too much. Now I don't. I love stopping in all the time. I don't go to certain bars a lot that I have. I have my camera system, right? That's amazing. But it's good now. My managers are doing fantastic, and my bartenders. I mean, each year my staff just gets better and better and better, we all learn from each other. I get more wiser. They get more wiser. They get more experience. It's a fun industry. But anyway.
And it builds them up. It builds their confidence.
It does.
As well. And inspires them probably later on to own their own bar, to own their own business. And they're building relationships there because people communicate. People are talking to the bartenders and the staff. And it's just a big circle of success.
Well, I'm glad you said the relationship thing, because relationship building is that's what I'm good at. I love building relationships, and I love building relationships with my staff and customers, and that's what it's all about. It's just relationships, giving them confidence, giving them, thank you so much for what you've done today. You just busted your ass all day. I even told one of my managers I loved her today. As a friend, of course, right? But I mean, that's how close we are, because she's doing so much, and she does well, and we take care of her very well too. But it's an amazing effort. But yeah, back to the. The no sleep. It caused a breakdown, and that's real.
So how did you? I mean, I have the same situation too, bro. But I mean, not obviously you got more on your plate with other things. But what I mean by that is like the sleep part. So what did you come to a conclusion with your depression ways, like how you're dealing with it now?
Yeah, I had to go get help, and I never really addressed that. I think a lot of people don't. A lot of my friends don't. A lot of people, I'm sure we know, they don't address it. And when you say help, it doesn't mean you need a lot of help. You just need a little help. Maybe.
Yeah.
You need an outside perspective. And I was totally against it for the longest time. And it's so stupid to look back and think. It really is. But yeah, it's a lot. When you have as much, people start treating you differently, and it's not all good. It's actually really bad. And it's really gotten worse over time. I have a great support system and great customers, and I love them all, right? But the more I get, the worse people are to me, unfortunately. And people are gouging me, contractors, you name it. Go down a list. People look at me different, or, like now I'm recently single for the first time in a long time, and dating is not easy.
Ladies, he's single.
Yeah. Dating isn't easy. I have a lot of great people I know, but you meet someone new and you kind of talk to them what you do, and you don't want to lie to them. But, you own 4 bars? Well,
do you tell them, or do you tell them, I'm busy?
Yeah, I do.
It's
right
gonna
away.
be hard for me to always spend time with you.
Right away. And it doesn't work out too well, unfortunately. Yeah,
that's crazy.
But at least you're honest, and you let them know up front.
I have to be honest now. Yeah. Before I would kind of hide that I own the bars, but that's not feasible.
Right.
But it's difficult. It's definitely difficult. But you got to just the right person is going to understand what I'm doing. That's the bottom line. It's a lot, and like I said, I have bigger goals. It's not just I want to own more, I want to own this, I want to have this. Not it. It's just comfortability. I take care of my family now. I take care of my grandma. I'm gonna help my mom soon, and that was the first priority. And then I help friends when I can, and it's very rewarding to me to be able to help some friends that, like I said, when I didn't have any outside help. A lot of people don't even have outside help or anyone to talk to, or someone that has. I went to jail. I need to get bailed out. I don't have anyone. And it's that's happened once or twice. Other things have happened. Some of my friends have run into struggles that are beyond their control, and they don't have any ability. Well, hey, I want to help you. And so that's why I want to do that thing. I want to be able to help others, and I've also motivated a lot of other people to want to go open their own business, or I want to go do this, and they have so much potential. Friends from high school that I reached out to, and what are you doing? Oh, nothing. What?
Bro,
hey, why not?
Bro.
Come on, we're in our late 30s now, baby.
Yeah,
we got to go do something.
Playtime's over.
Yeah, it's like, come down, hang out with me, come work for me, and we'll get going. It's like, I think a lot of people, too, they get freaked out by work for me or work for someone else work for a friend.
It's an ego thing.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be like that. It's just a fun... it's more of a comfortability. If I was in a struggle, I would rather go with someone I know from a long time ago and say, hey, I've been through some stuff. But we've everyone's been through something.
Yeah.
We're always going to be going through something. And anyone that's out there that thinks they're perfect, I haven't been through anything, or I'm better than this problem or all that, they're just removed from reality.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why I'm more talking about this now and opening up, because there's so many people out there, especially with the social media, back to social media. Social media does cause major depression. It causes people to look at people's profiles, and they're all filtered, and they're not real. But these people and these girls to men and whatever, they're just seeing and say, hey, that's I can't do that because it's and I tell people it's fake.
They paint this picture
Yeah,
like
it's not
everything's
real.
so perfect.
It's
right?
not real. Yeah, so I don't post a lot on my Instagrams, like pictures or anything like that, because of that reason. So again, you always go back to social media. It's 50-50.
I appreciate you saying something about that though, man, because that is true. Nobody wants to talk about that. I've been as real as I can on my social media, and again, people. I don't want this to sound bad, and hopefully I don't say this bad. When you're not doing anything, when those people aren't doing anything, they're doing their everyday thing, whether they're a father, mother, whatever their situation is, they're doing the same thing every day. So
Right.
when they see somebody like us that are entrepreneurs and we're doing things that some other people, they're like, man, I wish I could do that.
Yep.
They look at us as if we're maybe above them, or they look at us a different way. And
Or he thinks he's too good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
not the case.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Right.
not the case.
Not the
at
case
all.
at all.
Nowhere
Like,
near
I
it.
wish people could see my depression that I'm having every day.
Yep.
I wish people can see the struggles of, whether it's, a bank account or the guy or kid I let down from my coaching or from my other business. Those are the things that people don't understand. And I think when they look at us that way with the social media, they're like, they treat us different, you know? And I've gotten that multiple times, especially when I was in the wrestling scene, like, oh, it's J-Rock, you're doing this. And trust me, guys, it's not, trust me, I wish it would be better. But
It's not all roses and butterflies all the time.
Yeah,
but you're
so-
doing something you love though, and you want
And-
to do, and that's the most bottom line.
Yeah,
but
and-
it comes with challenges too. Like you're gonna have and I have plenty of challenges. You're gonna have challenges, but at least when we wake up every day, we're doing something we want to do. That's the plus.
Yeah.
If you're waking up every single day and you're not doing something you want to do, that is already you're starting the day at a negative, and that's what's bad. And that's what I was doing when I worked for a 9 to 5 or a government. I woke up every day. Oh my God, I can't even describe to you. I was miserable, miserable. And yes, the only people that got me through were the other people working there. You just can't talk to them. But the methods and the 9 to 5 and stuck in traffic and then you get home and you have a 2-hour drive at home, even though you live 20 minutes away, and you go home and you eat and you're like, shit, I have to go back tomorrow. And then when can you accomplish anything else for yourself? So
It's a mental struggle.
yeah, 9 to 5 is
Constantly.
hard. I'm not knocking it by any means. There's certain people that love it, or certain people don't, and our lifestyle is different too. But if you're not into it and you hate it, it's just all it's doing is affecting not only you but other people around you at that job that do love that job.
Yep.
And it's not fair to them.
Yeah.
So you just got to go do something you want to do. But back to the guys that are doing the normal stuff or families and things like that. I have to say, everyone looks at me like, oh, I wish I was doing it. No. There is bad parts. Yes, I'm very overall happy and motivated. But yes, I'm 37. I would like a family. I want a family, and that's more and more now. Yeah, when I started at 29, 30, 32, I was like, oh, I had to pump the brakes. Like, oh no, it's not a good idea. We need to focus on this, and I don't want to be distracted by everything. But yeah, now I would love to start a family, and this is growing. It's just growing. It's just evolving every day. Everyone needs to evolve, and I'm definitely evolving in all types of ways. But I'm very happy with what I do. But I just hope eventually I'll meet someone that is ready to understand what it all comes with. And
Tough. It's a challenge for a young lady.
It is. And then I make adjustments too, and I do. And if people don't like those adjustments, then there's nothing I can do really. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. Trust me, I have way too much fun sometimes.
Hell yeah.
But it's also
you have to, man. You have to.
yeah. So, but I like I said, I just want to talk about. I wish more people would talk about it. And yes, it's on a small scale right now what we're doing, but this will grow, I'm sure, definitely. And with the TV thing, I'm going to be talking about it. It's kind of scary, and I don't think I'm maybe thinking straight sometimes lately. But I'm going to be talking a lot about mental health and what I went through in the last 3 months. But I look into these stories and like Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer who's like a god in swimming. He just came out about that recently too. A lot of people have come out, so that's good. It's a very normal thing, and like I said, asking for help is like, oh my God, I'm so desperate. I need.
Right.
No, it's just a little bit of guidance,
Yep.
a little bit of outside perspective, and I'm telling you, it did help. It did help because my mind was racing so much, and you have to find an outside neutral party. It's like to go with something comparatively. It's like an auditor. You have to get someone to come and audit you.
Right.
Just from an outside perspective, because sometimes you're just not everyone's going to be thinking straight all the time.
I know exactly
yeah.
how you feel, man.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster ride.
It is, and it's for every single person. It doesn't matter what you are, what age you are. It's just, and I think a lot if the younger kids were kind of taught more now because I'm seeing it. Not to get all deep here, but I mean, you're seeing all the high school kids and battling way more depression, battling
absolutely.
suicide, not knowing who they are as a person and all that. And I just wish it's so normal.
Yeah,
It's so normal.
I think social media plays a big part in that.
It does.
How many likes, how many followers,
Yes.
all these different things.
everybody
Yes.
wants to be liked.
They
some way,
want
somehow.
credibility, they want acceptance, and they'll do anything to get acceptance.
And people are pleasers more often than not today.
Yep.
Which, as an entrepreneur, you can't always be a pleaser. You got to tell people no.
Right.
No is a powerful word, and I've learned to say no to a lot of things
Absolutely.
lately. Because
Yes.
if I say yes to everything, I get
Yeah,
watered
lose
down,
it.
and then I get depressed. I get saturated,
Yep.
and then I lose time with my family, and just the domino effect goes on and on. So you
Yeah.
have to say no to some things.
Right. No, I agree completely. And the whole depression thing is like it's a normal emotion, just like happiness and sadness. They always left it out.
Yeah.
So there's so many different levels, but it's completely normal. And the most successful people can be depressed. It is a disease in my opinion. But there's so many ways to properly fight it, and win it. And it's not like the worst thing in the world. So many people think, oh, they're depressed. We got to get away from them.
Right.
That's so stupid.
Yeah,
It's
it's a natural thing, and
yeah.
a lot of men have that ego.
Yes.
where they think, "Oh, I'm going to be looked at as weak."
Yes, and they take it out
No,
in all the wrong ways.
You're actually
then.
looked at as strong.
Yes, they take it out in all the wrong ways. They take it out on their families, or their friends, their girlfriends and wives because you're right.
The dog, you kick the dog.
Yes.
Flip the guy off in traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's
the
crazy.
anger buildup. I mean, everyone has anger.
Yeah.
Yes, people do have extreme anger problems. Everyone's going to have a temper, But I'm just as I grow more and evolve more, it's like those are all things that exist. It's kind of like that Donnie Darko movie. I don't know if you guys seen it, where the crazy teacher is. There's only two things: love and fear. That's it.
That's it.
There is nothing else in
Nothing else.
between. It is, and it's just amazing. And then he tells her to stick the thing up her butt. But anyway, so
Well,
Nick, sorry, friends.
No, hey, and again, bro, I commend you on that, bro, because there's a lot of people that won't talk about it, and the moment you do talk about
It's
it,
taboo.
it relieves a lot out of you,
Right. It does. Oh my gosh.
and it does help a lot more people want to talk about it.
Yeah,
you know,
and I've
so
gotten messages on my
that's good,
Facebook
bro.
from people I barely know, which is crazy. Sending because I wrote like some post on Facebook, which I rarely will do. Okay, lately I've been doing it a lot. I'm not gonna lie, but
And
it's good.
it's not a
because
bad thing,
It's
man.
not a bad thing.
It
It's not
makes
a
you
bad
feel
thing.
good.
Yeah,
It does.
it's therapy, and
Yeah.
it really there's all kinds of different ways of therapy, but the bottom, everything in my opinion with success, everything is so simple. The most simple sayings, the most simple things are just truly accurate. There is no complicated thing. You don't have to have some sort of deep thought process to get where you're at. It really is all simple. You just got to do it. Like you said, do the work.
Absolutely.
Just gotta
Do
do
the
the
work.
work. That's it.
So I got a question
go
about
ahead.
your bars, real quick.
Yes.
So so there's Bar House, and then the Hidden Grove, correct, and then Old Main.
Yes.
They're all different, obviously different. What made him? What made you want to be? What made you want to create those bars that way? I should say.
That's a good question. I just different environments, and I was building a bar very close to my other one.
Okay.
So we had to actually definitely have to differentiate from the other one. But Old Main has this unique experience, just old school ice house with the live music and openness. And going into bars, my biggest thing is just I don't want it to seem like a bar, because then you're going to bring all ages, 21 to 70, not just 21 to 30. So I think my goal in Old Main is, and a lot of people these days, the biggest bars are geared for everyone. That's what I was going to shoot for everyone. And in Bar House too, right in shirts, it's like 7 miles away, if that, 6 miles away. And just wanted to have a whole different vibe, again, the bar and the house concept, just wanting people to
That
come
was pretty cool.
and feel like they're at home. I mean, just not you shouldn't go to a bar. You're escaping reality. You're going there for a reason. You want to get happier. You want to escape some problem. You want to meet people, whatever. You got to find a good, positive environment. And I didn't want, you go into some dive bars, and people love dive bars. I love a few, I'm not going to lie, but it's not an everyday thing. You don't want to go in a bar that's pitch black.
Right.
I was about to ask you. Okay, so what does that mean? What a dive bar? Like
Dive bar to me is you go into the room, and like this room right here would be painted all black. Everything's
just
black.
dark.
It's dark.
It's depressing.
It's depressing as hell. It's just every element of bringing out, sadness or making things worse, or you're in a dark hole all night.
Like a speakeasy.
Yeah,
kinda.
exactly. And
Okay.
old school speakeasy to a degree, but the speakeasies have that nice, elegant,
Right.
excuse me, ambiance of it. But dive bar, no, not hating on dive bars.
Yeah, no, for
Okay,
sure.
because I love a few dive bars.
I was about to say a couple of different ones downtown, but I shouldn't say it.
yeah, me either. Because
Like
I
that
like my
place?
favorite
Like that
dive bar.
place? But I don't want to.
You know which dark bar I like? Ocho. At Havana Hotel.
Yeah.
That's a cool little spot.
Right.
It's
Ocho?
red. It's dark in there, but you got little lit candles and
Yeah,
it's real dark.
They're
ambiance.
creating that good ambiance, which is good.
Yeah.
Like I said, not all dive bars are bad, but I'm telling you, there's bars out there, and we all know. You're all listening right now. You know what bar that you like to go to sometimes. Like, man, I hate this place, but you go all the time.
Yeah.
Chill escape, and that's fine. Everyone can go whatever. But I wanted to experience something different. I want vibes, and you're seeing it more and more everywhere. I saw it before I opened my bars, of course, but there's more bars all over the place. I mean, you can say Poorhouse too. Just here in the Braunfels. It's an amazing place. It's an amazing place. It's been there forever. And it's fantastic. And you go in there, you just have energy. You're like, hell yeah. You're brightening up your day, or you're not. You're not going into a black hole.
Right.
And some of the black holes are cool. But like I said, for me, when I was building bar, I just want to have an experience. Hidden Grove is a crazy outdoor modern experience, very relaxed. Just it feels good to be there. It's
Yep.
like
we liked it. We enjoyed it.
yeah,
We
but I
went out
have
there.
to, you have to find a reason too. Like some people have amazing backyards. They love their patios. They love their balconies at their apartment. They make it great. But I got to find a reason to get you to leave.
Yeah.
And come over, right? I mean, I'm not going to lie, while being safe, of course. But we have to go here because I can't do this in my backyard. This is amazing.
Right.
Especially the bars downtown, these huge bars that are going into crazy detail. I think it's amazing. You just have a reason to stay there. And that's the other thing. I don't want people to just come in for a drink and leave.
Yeah.
I want them to stay all night in one set place, be safe, get home safe. That's it.
And keep coming back, telling their friends about it,
Yeah.
check in on Facebook, and it keeps going and going.
Right, and these young kids too. Where are you going tonight? Barhouse.
Yeah.
We're meeting at Barhouse.
You get a lot of military people there because it's right
I-
by Randolph Air Force
I
Base.
do, yeah. Old Main especially. We get a lot of military, and they get bussed over, and I think it's awesome. I'm very fortunate. We have a lot of retirement parties
Yep.
at Old Main because it's a great ambiance. They put the flags up. They have the space.
Nice.
We get all kinds of things. I've had a dance recital there at Old Main before it opens.
Any weddings?
We've had a bunch of weddings. In fact, some of my old friends that I introduced got married at my bar. I didn't charge them anything, obviously, but I introduced them, and 3 months later, I would feel like maybe sooner, they got married like right away.
Nice.
And they said, "Well,
Heck
since you
yeah.
introduced us, can we have it at Old Main?" Oh yeah, of course. One of my other friends from high school got married at Old Main. Again, that's also it's going back to creating that environment. It's not just for the bar. I've created to have event spaces
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Meetings of all kinds.
You said you did pro wrestling there.
I did.
missed
We
it.
did pro wrestling. River City Wrestling came, which was awesome. And I was so nervous. I was going to be a part of the show and wrestle,
Right.
and I got nervous that I was going to break my back or something.
Were you like the
What
Vince
did you
McMahon?
do? Like,
I
what did you
introduced.
do?
I think I introduced a wrestler, and then I had some wrestler back me up as a bodyguard.
Okay.
And then it's funny now. I actually have a real bodyguard now. Ironically enough. But that was so awesome. I love wrestling. Let's talk about wrestling.
Yeah. Okay. So when did you start watching pro wrestling?
1996.
Yeah. How old were you then?
10, 9, 10.
Yeah. Who was your favorite?
Look at that big smile on his
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, you're gonna have to be on my Kick Rocks
I'm telling you,
podcast.
you gotta have that secret thing. That's your therapy. That's the thing that makes
Yeah.
you feel better. And I've learned lately too. I'm telling you because I kept wrestling to myself. There was one friend my
Really?
entire life that I talked about wrestling, and every time someone brings it up, oh yeah, I don't watch.
Really?
Yeah, so I always kept to myself.
Dude, I was like that in high school because I
You're
thought-
scared.
I was scared.
Yes, and you
I
didn't want to get make fun
I
of.
didn't-
Yeah,
dude. And,
same.
And it got out, man. Somebody was like, "Your brother's a wrestler." I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "So you like wrestling?"
Yeah.
But no, I let it out early too with the wrestling thing. It sucks.
And I'm glad you
in
did.
ways.
But lately, I've been doing it more. In fact, I was talking about it with someone at Old Main, and a gentleman was sitting next to me. Turns out this guy is obsessed.
Oh, dude.
He plays the video games. His kids play it. They wrestle. They watch pay-per-views. In fact, now we're actually going to go. The next pay-per-view we're going to watch it together at Old Main.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy now. I talk about it, and I don't really care if no one likes it. I don't give a
Dude,
shit.
bro.
I think it's amazing, and they don't understand it.
There's
And
so many hidden fans out there.
yeah, they are, and I love
So
it.
many
And it's more and
hidden
more.
fans.
But
And right now it's huge right now because
It is.
what WWE's doing with the Bloodline and how they're letting characters be more themselves more now.
right.
Thanks to Triple H, I want to say. But a big part of it is like it's cool to be a wrestling fan again.
Yes, it is.
You know, and back in the Attitude Era, the Stone Cold, the Rocks, the fingers in the air, the beers getting thrown. You know, that was the time, but like it's starting to be cool again, and it's starting to get huge. You know,
Yeah.
It started becoming stagnant, and now it's
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah,
back. Well, and
it's
definitely
revived.
back.
and to
Yeah.
help with, you know, billionaire Tony Khan too.
Yeah.
You know, AEW, and
So what do you liking more? What do you catch yourself liking more, AEW or more of the?
I definitely like
WWE.
AEW lately.
you know what I like? I like these guys.
Yeah, so I was
the
telling
scissor
you.
me.
Where we
the
at?
scissor me
There we
daddy.
go, these guys.
There you go.
Scissor me, Big Daddy.
Oh,
I didn't,
scissor
you know,
me
but it's so
daddy.
amazing. But you know, that's why I like AEW, because they're having an understanding of the old school guys and then the new school guys, and they meet it together because they're bringing in old fans and new fans, and yeah, it's a little scattered right now. But that's a whole nother podcast we'll talk about. But you know, like having the scissor guys, Jericho still there. I'm a secret obsessed Jericho.
Yeah.
Sting, even though he's like 67,000 years old.
Oh yeah, 50,
Which is
56 if I'm correct.
I think he's 60 something.
Is he
I really
somewhere
do
there?
think so, yeah.
He's-
And I
yeah,
think
he
he
might be.
disregarded. I don't know if you saw, and not that I watch every hour of it, but
all
he
the time, right?
he just did something where he jumped off the top rope to the outside on those two tables and he missed. Oh. And you can see his face through his paint.
Oh,
Why the
geez,
fuck did I
Sting.
just do that?
Yeah, right.
Like,
Damn it.
It was amazing. But yeah, I could talk about wrestling for hours and hours.
Man,
So
I always tell J-Rock, old school Ric Flair, Macho Man,
yeah.
the new guys today couldn't hold their jockstrap.
Bruiser
Absolutely.
Brody.
No, you're right.
And last year I spent more money on spilt liquor at Old Main than I did anywhere else.
Yes, thank you.
Woo,
But
Ric
to
Flair.
mention Ric Flair, I got to tell you. So I'm a self motivator, obviously, and I go back and read my tweets. But the videos I did watch, I said I didn't watch motivational videos. I didn't. I watched wrestling.
Yes.
Wrestling promos. I watched Ric Flair just say, and it surprisingly would motivate the crap out of me.
You think he gave a shit what people thought about him?
No, absolutely not. And he still doesn't. And that's
Yeah.
what I like now.
And that's our mentality.
Yes, and I've been a lot better at that because I did used to care way too much when I started. And when I say that lightly, I mean I care about my customers. I care about what people think of me to a degree.
But the naysayers.
Yes, but I really just I don't care anymore, and I just want to use that to motivate so many other people because it's like you care about people. I care about people big time, more so than I should. But like I said, you're right. The naysayers and other people or people that just say something stupid because he's on this podcast talking about wrestling. How stupid, or this, or he's talking about mental depression. What a horrible person as they're sitting around doing fucking nothing,
Right?
Like nothing. So
I gotta ask you one more thing, Nick. So, in your life, like, cause you grew up with wrestling, right? I feel like everything's wrestling. Like, you hear a glass break, you're like Stone Cold. You're like, you hear somebody like do the woo, you're like Rick. You know what I mean? Like everything is wrestling.
Yes.
So I explain this a lot to a lot of our listeners. It's like I used wrestling for everything, motivation, wanting to stay healthy. I mean, even with laughter, I call everybody a jabroni. Like everybody's a jabroni in my book. You know what I mean? So the wrestling was everything to me, and I feel like a lot of fans use that a lot in life too. Like, again, just use it as motivation. Like you said, the promos, the Rock promos killed it. I would laugh all the time how, Steiners didn't know what the hell they were talking about. Just like, just random shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All those things, wrestling is life for me. So that's cool, man. Have you been to a show lately? Like any of the AEW shows? Like live
me
events?
and that friend that wrestled in our backyard back in the day, we went to AEW in San Antonio. St. Patrick's Day Bash.
Hell yeah.
I was on cloud nine, man. I mean, I was never so happy in my life. And my ex actually took me to believe it or not, my first real wrestling show when I was just like 3 years ago or so.
Really?
Because I never went. Because, when I was growing up,
bro.
I didn't have any money. And
Yeah,
you go to these
that's-
shows
yeah.
and like, what? This how much? And I didn't want to send in the nosebleeds. So she actually surprised me with some tickets to SmackDown.
Hell yeah.
And that was actually pretty cool. But it was like a house show, maybe,
Yeah,
or I
it's
don't remember. It was
possibly.
actually, the AEW show was way more entertaining.
Yeah.
It just had
yeah.
high energy the whole time. And then, but anyway, I went there. But back to the wrestling and everything. Yeah, I treated everything. And I think there's so many fans, and once you connect to the fans, they're using it as an escape.
Exactly.
It is an escape.
It's extreme
It's a
escape.
very big escape, and You just got to find that
nothing
escape
like
that you love and not be embarrassed by it. Like I said, there's so many people embarrassed with what they like, and there's just no reason for that. But I even have some wrestling neon signs getting made for the downtown bar.
Hell
And I
yeah.
can't really say what it is, but it has to do with Bret the Hitman Hart. I'm sure you know exactly what it's
Dude,
going to
I'll
talk
be
about.
excited, bro. I'm
So,
excited. already.
fuck it. We're just going to say it.
When you get that downtown bar open, bro.
No, it's going to be
watch
well,
parties,
and
baby.
you know,
Let's
I have.
go.
You gonna say it? He's
Yeah,
about to
no.
say it.
So there's 3 levels outside, and each level is going to have a neon sign. One level is best there is. Second is best there was.
And
The third is the best there ever will be.
Hell yeah.
And it's going to be on the
yeah.
skyline in the background. Don't steal it. Anybody else sue you.
Look at that.
Hell
Nobody
yeah,
else
we will
has
see
that
you.
No.
in
We
San
will
Antonio.
see you. Hell
Yeah, so, and, you know, I'm not going to lie. I have some secret goals. Like, even my TV producers that we're working with right now, they ask me, what are your obnoxious goals? You have your good goals and you want your stupid dream goals, right? Everyone has dream
Hell
goals, and
yeah.
you should have it. My dream, 2. One is related to wrestling. I just want to meet Chris Jericho. That's all I want to do.
Hell yeah.
It's so ridiculous. And my friend I always talk to, he just jokes about me all the time. You're one step closer to meeting Jericho.
Is that your man crush?
Yeah, he is.
Hell yeah, dude.
I,
Chris
you know,
Jericho's a
I'm going to
shit.
share it to his. I'm going to share this podcast to him too, and
Yeah.
exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Please, you know, I bought all your crap and you know, obsessed over you. So please, I got to meet Jericho.
Dude,
But the second
Fozzy
thing,
will come around soon, I'm sure.
yeah. But the second thing they asked me is, "What's your obnoxious goal?" I want to be on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Oh hell yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
telling you,
another
It's
one.
right up the
bro.
road.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I don't know why. I just feel it going to happen. I can see it.
Hell
happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, especially if you gotta invite him to your bars. You got
Oh yeah, and now that he's in Austin, and you know, I'm gonna go stalk him a little bit. You know,
man.
Nick, you're on your way, man.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
But with because the funny thing about Joe Rogan, which is so crazy, I hated Joe Rogan. growing
Really?
up.
Why?
Yes, I don't know. I just couldn't stand
Just
him.
couldn't stand
You
him?
know. Remember when he was on news radio?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, a news radio. I mean, that's crazy. And then he was the host of Fear Factor,
Fear Factor.
and he was so annoying. And now, like I watch his podcast, I'm like, why am I so obsessed with you? But he has it. I mean, what I and for me too, and what I see is he just evolves as a person. He evolves as a person, and he's constantly going. And he's doing stuff for himself, obviously, and his family, and what he enjoys. But it's also motivating millions of people.
It's
now.
just conversation he's having.
Yeah, and that's all it is. Man,
Just
that's
highlighting
why I love
people.
him so much.
He's
You know,
part. It's part of my day every day.
yeah,
Every
exactly.
day,
It's just
part of my day.
motivating so many people, and it, like again, the best things in life, I think, and the best people you meet are the people that you question at first, or you said you kind of disliked, and then you evolve as a person. Like, wow, I guess the biggest thing I could say is, and I wanted to say it before we leave, even if we're not going to be done. Shallow people are the worst. I mean, the worst. And that is not what I am. And you're never going to be successful if you're shallow. Doesn't matter if you have money, your parents had money, you think you're popular now or in school or popular at the local bars, and you're shallow. You are nothing. Not to be so adamant. So, and that's what I was being a long time ago. I mean, not maybe on a grand scale, but I was being just shallow myself. Whoa, I don't like that. But I didn't have a reason why. Just being, but the other reason I was very pissed off and very unhappy, and I was stuck where I was at, and that's what causes those things. It causes you to be shallow. It causes you to be ugly. It causes you to question other people, and that's what's happening. So yeah, once you remove that and see past that, man, anything is possible. And I think that's what started happening, and that's why I give so many people so many chances. I get criticized all the time. You're not going to give this person. I've had people quit because I've given someone a second chance because they don't like them. Well, good. We'll see you later.
Right.
And those people have turned into just amazing. My managers now are definitely, their goal is to have their own bars. They're going to, for sure.
That's awesome.
They're, and they, but it also helps them as persons. And I'm starting to see them give other people chances that they want to, maybe we should think about this and do this. And yes, there's a high risk involved with that. People could screw you over. People have screwed me over big time. Someone crashed my car. Second year I was in the bar business, which was insane because I gave them a chance and I trusted them, but they crashed my car. That was wild. That was wild.
Man.
But yeah, anyway.
So, Nick, before we close this up, man, it's been a great podcast, great conversation. A lot of nuggets, a lot of stuff being discussed.
I blacked out. I don't even know what we talked
No,
about.
I mean, dude, it was great. No, I'll
What
be real
advice-
with you. Yeah, it was great.
What advice do you have for somebody wanting to open up their own bar?
Well, yeah, bar or any business of
Any
any kind.
business.
Yeah, any business kind. I mean, just do the work.
That's it.
That's
do the
it.
work.
It's just do the
Simple.
work.
And we talked about it during the show.
Yeah.
Do the work.
Yeah, and educate yourself.
Educate yourself. Build relationships with positive people.
Yes.
Find people who are smarter than you. Find mentors. find a good support system, and don't be too egotistical to tell somebody
Yes.
you need to tap out for a little bit.
Right, and what I've seen lately too is, like I said, on the shallowness, don't be shallow, but also it's okay to go talk to another bar owner that has a bar. I mean, if they don't want to talk to you, then
Shame
screw
on them.
Yeah,
Shame
but
on them.
You're gonna find plenty that want to
Yeah.
help. I mean, to a certain degree, but yeah, I've had some really good people lately that are opening bars or have opened bars that did come to me.
That's awesome.
And it's very respectful. And in turn, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I can help you to a degree, which I will, and give you some guidance. And really, I did give one person, just like insurance thing. They had nothing. They knew nothing about insurance when it came to bars, which is fine. And no one's going to know all the details. You're always going to learn. But yeah, I educated them for an hour on insurance.
That's awesome.
And they came back to me
It's
2 hours
important.
later and said, yeah, I was going to figure that out at some point on my own, but you helped me eliminate all kinds of problems.
That's
And
awesome.
time. You
Yes,
saved them a
exactly.
shitload of
You
time.
saved them a lot of time. And like I said, I'm not there to say, hey, I want everyone to go to your bar, not my bar, but I want it to be safe. That's the biggest thing. Every time I tell people it's safety, and for people listening and all that stuff, questioning alcohol and all that, yeah, it is a high risk environment, but we make it safe, and I've made it safe, in my opinion. And I think a lot of other people around the area, especially New Braunfels and San Antonio, they make it safe. And you'll know when you go to a place and it's not safe. You'll know,
Yeah.
and you should leave.
You'll hear people talk a lot, and people try to keep other people safe as well.
Right.
But word of mouth gets around fast.
It does. It
So
does.
Nick, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Heck
Yes, it was fun. Thank you.
We know where you're at. You're in Shirts Cibolo, and you're coming to San Antonio
Yes,
soon
downtown
on a big
SA.
3-story venue. It's going to be badass, man, and we're going to go out there. And
Yes, thank you. I
We're going to
can't
have
wait.
some drinks. And where can we find you on social media?
Well, we'll just do my business pages, but yeah, Barhouse SA, Instagram, Barhouse Shirts, Old Main Ice House, and Hidden Grove TX is all the bars. And then the TV show, when the name is released, we'll have the Instagram page for that soon too.
Oh yeah.
Where's that going to be aired, by the way? Do you know yet?
Not sure yet.
Not too sure yet?
We
Okay.
have some ideas and some platforms looking at it right now, but it is going to be on a bigger scale. It's not going to live on YouTube. But I'm very excited. It's 7 episodes, I believe, with the pilot, and it will deliver it. And then we're going to film everything about the bar, everything about me, my staff, building the bar, and we're going to Miami.
Nice. Okay.
And it's going to be
Hell yeah.
filmed. I've never been to Miami.
Where
yeah.
so what is the big what's the big picture of this
The TV show?
TV show?
Well, I think there's a combination of things. Obviously, branding, right? And kind of changing it up to get people to come to the bars and check out the bars, all from San Antonio.
Okay.
But also, I think the entertainment value. But for me personally, there's 2 things. One, I do so much.
Okay.
And I've reached a point of 9 or 10 years now doing this that no one sees all what I do. And they all
sure.
question things. Or,
yeah.
They think they just kind of show up, and I just do so much. I want people to see it.
Nice.
I really do. Like the process of building the bar downtown, it is not easy. It's that you just hire someone to come in and do it. No, it is difficult. It is exhausting. It is so worth it and so rewarding. But at some point, when you're mentally doing that all day and no one really sees it, and I kind of just tell people at the bar at night, they don't understand, and that's okay. But I want people to see the process. I want to see that anything is possible. If I can do it, you can do it. Someone is telling you no, I can turn it into a yes. That's how I've always been. And that's what I was turning when I opened Old Main. Not to open up the conversation real quick, but I mean, every single time someone told me no all the time opening Old Main. And I was like, I'm going to find a way to turn it yes. Even we're kicking people out of the bar. I want to flip them. I want them to say, it's almost like a political thing. I want to flip you and say, why are you mad at me? You're not mad at me anymore. We're cool. So sometimes it's high risk, and now I have a bodyguard.
Speaking of Chris Jericho, you know what I learned from Chris Jericho? He said that people that say you can't do it were the ones that didn't do it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The ones that can't do it, that didn't do it, they can't do it. That's
Right.
and the ones that say they can do it are the ones that have actually attempted and done it.
Right. Well, I got to say something lastly too about that on the negative thing and all that stuff and relaying everything. I hung out with someone for a very long time, and I loved them to death. And they started hanging out with the most negative people on this planet. And I hope you know, and you're reading or watching right now, the most negative people, and they are detractors. They're distractors. That's all they do. And they're just wasting time, and made me out to be this whatever person because I'm too focused on doing something. But anyway, you don't want that. So and the second part of the show, real quick, it is going to be mental health. It's about comeback. For me starting going up and then breaking down and coming back up. So for my bartenders coming back from addiction to all kinds of things. And so it's about the comeback, and because there's so many people out there, like we discussed, that are going through something similar on a small scale, large scale, and that's okay. And you can turn it into something positive and good. So that's what we're trying to do. So we'll see. If not, it will be on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
but it should work.
Sounds good, man. We're excited.
To I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
We're looking forward to it. We'll watch it, all 7 episodes, man. It's be badass.
Yes.
So thank you for watching the Social Plug Podcast. You can find us on all social media, all platforms. You can even find J-Rock on OnlyFans. Maybe check out his feet, his painted toenails, or him in an apron. We'll see. I'll
how
that
you and
goes.
we'll wrestle.
Maybe he'll be wrestling. So you can also find us on socialplugmedia.net. You can find us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got all amazing content and all our full episodes as well. And with that said, you are unplugged from the Social Plug Podcast. We'll see you next episode. We're out.
All right.
Oh,